Robert Leslie Adams, affectionately known as Whitey. He was born 12/24 of 1938. He attended Ebenezer Avenue Elementary School, and of course he is a big supporter of the Bearcats. At Rock Hill High School, he lettered in baseball, basketball, and golf. What an athlete. He played on the first ever golf team at Rock Hill High School, and his senior year at Rock Hill High, he batted .512. Amazing. He played at the American Legion Post 34 baseball team from 1954 to 1957. He was on the York County Baseball League. He played for the Terps of Terps. Anybody know the Terps of Terps? From 1957 to 1961, his team won the league championship 4 years in a row. He played semi-pro baseball with the Rock Hill Rebels in 1957. He played professional baseball 1 year with the Milwaukee Braves and also with the Baltimore Orioles organization. He attended Erskine College where he played a year of baseball, batting over .325. He helped and build and maintain a par 3 golf course at Erskine College. Thank you for serving, Whitey, in the U.S. Army. He played regimental baseball, hitting over .400 in the Army. He had 4 consecutive hit home runs while he was at Fort Knox. He was a golf pro from 1964 to 1980. And in 1993, he was inducted into the Flying Feet Cleat Hall of Fame at Erskine College. He was inducted into the York County Sports Hall of Fame in 2006. He is married to Joan Grayson Tate. They've been married since October of 1964. They have 2 children, Randy and Kathy. I spent a wonderful Saturday afternoon at their kitchen table, getting to know Whitey and Joan. I don't think I'll ever forget that day. I had a couple of stories. Now, he just told me, this just amazes me, you guys. Most good golfers go a lifetime without hitting a hole-in-one, right? Everybody agree with that? Yeah. Whitey has hit 11 hole-in-ones in his lifetime. I sure hope this is okay for me to say, but earlier this evening he said 4 of those hole-in-ones came after he became visually challenged. The most interesting and funny story I have about Whitey, before I bring you up, he told me that when he was at Rock Hill High, he played varsity baseball as a freshman. And those seniors on that baseball team were not real happy that there was a freshman on the team, and they stole his hat. And I spent a good part of that Saturday afternoon hearing about that stolen hat. I could tell it bothered him. He never got his hat back. Matter of fact, he told me that some of the people that might have taken that hat might be in the room tonight. So if you are, you're going to have him to deal with. But Whitey, we have gotten together and we had a big meeting about this, and we have decided that almost 50 years is too long to wait to get your hat. So we found you a nice baseball hat. Please help me in welcoming to the microphone Mr. Robert Whitey Adams. Okay, somebody's got to help me.
Help me in welcoming to the microphone Mr. Robert Whitey Adams.
Thank y'all so much for this tonight. And I may be proving to y'all tonight that there is crime in baseball, so you'll have to bear with me. But we're going to get this thing started off tonight with an old Rock Hill High School Bearcat cheer. And I hope some of y'all in here remember this. P-A-R-T-Y, party hardy at Rock Hill High. I said P-A-R-T-Y, party hardy at Rock Hill High. I want to thank the Bearcat backers tonight for choosing my number, my jersey for retirement. I mean, this many thanks, and to be on the same program with Coach Ringer, with his 189 victories, and Tim Jones, who I know made 489 tackles. This is very, very special. First of all, tonight I want to introduce my table. My wife, Joan, of 51 years. I've always said if there's ever a Hall of Fame for wives, Joan should be the first one inducted, as all my friends can attest. My son Randy, his wife Monica. My daughter Kathy, who was a cheerleader for the Bearcats while Coach Ringer was coaching them up and Tim Jones was tackling them down. Kathy And my favorite son-in-law, what's his name, Kathy? Who is it? Adam Prater. Two of our guests from Richmond, Virginia tonight, Joyce and Robert Bertocci. That's pretty close. And Coach Danny Brabham from Columbia, South Carolina. He was Rock Hill High School's first golf coach, as they've said, and his wife, Sissy. Being up here tonight is a long way from starting out playing rolly bat on Chatham Avenue with Jimmy Nunn and Janice and Vicki Aiken. But we moved right on up to Ebenezer Avenue, where I met Cecil Pruitt and his brother Frank. We played ball together for 8 or 10 years. And his dad was a coach. He said, why do you need to come out for the Little League team? I've got some inside information. But these coaches I'm going to mention tonight mean so much to you. I mean, we went right on up to Pony League ball. We had Curly Threet, Randall Cutts, and Doc Sanders. Now, if you think coaches don't mean something to you, I named my son Randy after Randall Cutts. That's pretty good stuff. Small boys become big men through the influence of big men who really love and care about small boys. I mean, they start off giving you a positive attitude, and the word that I love so much is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. I've always tried to get my kids and my grandchildren to say enthusiasm when they wake up first thing in the morning. Well, now, like Jim mentioned before, and I was going to say this, but I was the only freshman to make the team. I was the only guy to go out for baseball the freshman year. But somebody confiscated my hat. And that's a pretty big word. I'm going to try not to use too many tonight, but I know there are people in here from Newberry, Walford, and I don't want to confuse y'all. But I did have two seniors that took good care of me, Rabbit Sweat and Reggie R6 Kelly. Now, our baseball team, first 2 years just so, but our senior year we really blossomed. And we had 4 guys on that team that eventually signed contracts: Wallace Bower, Frank Pruitt, and Buddy McCarter. And we played on the same team with Legion ball and County League ball and right on up. But these other coaches, they motivated us by encouraging us. I mean, Coach McCall, he was low key, and if he ever got excited, it would sound like this: Bobby, you're playing too much golf. I said, Coach, I play golf right-handed, hit left-handed. He says, okay, that's all right. I was excited if he was ever get. Coach Bob Cathers, he would be able to fire on you. You better not ever lose a wind sprint playing for Bob Cathers. And as I say, our first golf coach, Coach Danny Brown. Danny, would you stand up, please? Coach took that job on. He did not know anything about golf. The only thing he told me is, he said, Whitey, I think you're standing too close to the ball after you hit it. Well, that's what my grandson told me today too. But our junior and senior year, we won every game against the South Carolina team. So we were the state champions for 2 years in a row. And like I say, all these guys, we played on the Legion team, post 34, and that's why we were so good, because it was composed of a lot of Bearcats. Now, who's going to beat the Bearcats? Nobody's going to beat the Bearcats. Another guy that came along at this time that was really so special to us was Donnie Rip Wilder. He was a sports editor of the Evening Herald. And he did a lot for us in getting scouts to come watch us play. He went to all of our games, and not just baseball, but Rip did so much for me. I mean, he took me to numerous sporting events. Got to see the Eastern Regionals in Charlotte, right on the front row with Bob Euchre. He took me to baseball games in Charlotte where the spring training would take place. Got to see Ted Williams hit a pinch hit home run. And this was in '56. Now, what was happening in Rock Hill in '56? Get into movies at 10 cents a piece. Crown Premium Milkshake, y'all remember that? A quarter, about that big. Cherry Road was a 2-lane road. We had a flat tire out there one night after a Legion game. We got the balls and bats out of the cooler shell, and we played pepper on Cherry Road at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't think you can do that anymore. Another thing Rip did for me, he took me to the Masters Golf Tournament, first time, and this year will be the 60th straight consecutive year in a row I've been to Augusta. But like I said, we played on all these teams together, and we played in the county league, which was mentioned, and that is big time. And one day Rip Wilder calls me. He says, "Whitey, what do you know about this boy Bobby Bowling?" I said, "I've never heard of him." He said, "Well, he's pitched 2 straight no-hitters up at Hickory Grove." I said, "Well, that's Class C, not much to it." Well, Bowling pitched 2 more no-hitters in a row. But it just so happened that the Terps, we were scheduled to play Hickory Grove that Saturday. So we go up to Hickory Grove, and we look over there, and we see this guy. He's 6'4", no coordination, looks like he's fallen out of a tree. But that thing that's coming out of his right hand looks like an aspirin tablet. Now, they're not up there just scouting bowling. There's some other guys playing too. And our first batter up was Lefty Hambright. And Lefty was up there briefly. And he comes back to the dugout, and we said, "Well, how was it?" He said, "They all sounded real high to me." Well, the second batter up hit a home run. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, we beat Bowling that day, 6-5, on a sacrifice fly by Frank Big Mama Pruitt. Well, we happened to face Bowling about 4 or 5 weeks later in the playoffs, and Bowling's got us down 2-1, bottom of the 9th inning, and somebody, again, I can't remember his name, hit a home run about 360 feet over the railroad track at Terps. Now, Bowling says I have a selective memory, but I also have some witnesses. Now, the bottom line of this story, Mr. Bowling, would you stand up? Aren't you here tonight?
After all that, you want me to stand up?
The best part of this story, and I know you're wondering where it's going, but Mr. Bowling pitched 13 years in the big leagues with the Giants, the Brewers, and the Red Sox. He won 80-something games. He lost 60-something games. He beat he beat every team in the National League at least twice, but he never beat Herzog. But here is the top to the bottom of this story. Now, last week, Bobby Bowling spent all week with a guy named Willie. And tonight, he's here with somebody named Whitey. Now, the bottom line is the guy that's named Willie is Willie Mays. Now, that's going from the top to the bottom. But after, when I went into the Army, and I went to Erskine, I'm sorry, I got a little confused there. I go down to Due West. Can y'all hear me?
He turned it off.
I turned it off. Be him.
You're going to have to deal with him, bud.
How loud can you talk?
I have to talk loud.
Talk loud for a moment. We'll work on that.
Okay. How many of y'all ever been to Due West? Okay. It ain't no town, it ain't no city, it's just a little place called Do-Wah-Diddy. But you know when you go to Erskine that you're going to love Due West because there are 400 girls there and 300 guys. Now 400 girls cannot have a headache, I have to wash their hair every night. Just not going to happen. I played my freshman year at Erskine. Had a good year, but second semester freshman year, I lost my books or they disappeared. It might have been the same guy I got my baseball hat. I don't know. When I returned from my sophomore year, I found out I was ineligible. So I told Coach Stilley, another great mentor, that I was going to go into service, get my service out of the way because I knew I wanted to play pro ball. He said, "You will never come back." I said, "I shall return." And I eventually did. But after I left, went into service, I went to a tryout camp in Louisville, Kentucky. Yay! Yeah! And signed a contract with the Braves. So
Whitey, hold this for a second. Hold it for a second.
you got it?
Yes, sir.
Signed a contract with the Braves. Got a $1,000 bonus, big money. Also signed a contract with local slugger bat company, and they were either going to give me $100 or a free set of golf clubs. So you know I took those golf clubs. Also signed a contract for about $20 with one of those bubble gum outfits. I think for $20, and they gave me a pack of bubble gum. Then I did return to Due West to complete my education, and I'm lucky that I did because that's where I met my wife Joan. Now after we just dated by letters for about 2 years, and what am I trying to say now? I'm trying to figure it out. Anyway, I was in the golf business for about, I went to spring training. I'm backtracking a little bit. After I signed my contract, I was assigned to Davenport, Iowa. Played in Davenport and played in Bluefield. But after a year, they decided that the upper management, they were looking for somebody to hit the long ball because they always said the chicks dig the long ball. So I was out of baseball. So that's when I returned to Due West to complete my education. And fortunate for me that I did meet Joan, and I met Joan on a blind date, and we're still having a lot of blind dates. I was in the golf business for 18 years, and like Jim said, I got to build 2 golf courses. While I was in the golf business, I was very fortunate to get to play with people like Ed Fergal, David Graham, Peter Oosterhuis, Charlie Reimer, Lanny Watkins, Bobby Galloway, and Randy and Zach Adams. It doesn't get any better than that. I also got to tried to qualify for the U.S. Open about 10 times. And the closest I got was, I I got beat in the 5-man playoff for local qualifying one time. And like I say, that was close. But y'all know what close counts in. Horseshoes, hand grenades, and slow dance. Again, I want to thank the Bearcat backers for choosing my jersey to be retired tonight. I want to thank my friends that are here tonight. I forgot about Lauren Langley, who pitched endless batting practice to me so that I could hit those fastballs off of Mr. Bolden. I want to thank my friends for being here and all these coaches that I mentioned before tonight that created the enthusiasm and made it possible. Thank you.
Just to your left.
Oh my goodness.
Congratulations. Thank you. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank y'all.